Um,
Cool. Second question.
yeah, this is actually the perfect segue to the second question, which was for someone who says that training is so complicated and they only have twice a week, 30 minutes of time. How would you go about their training plan for them to get like the biggest bang for their buck?
I think this is the most important topic we can talk about because that's, I think, where 90% of people should be, or at least should be developed towards in terms of physical education, physical training. Training twice a week for like 30 minutes max. That's it, right? There's nothing more needed. You don't need 5 days a week of hours of training. If that's fun for you, that's fine. But I want to offer something that's for people who have like no internal motivation to start training. So if I want to have like a 3 second elevator pitch of what you should be doing if you have twice a week, 30 minutes, it's super simple. I call it the 1, 2, 3 principle. It's you need to learn one hip position. That's a neutral hip. You have to learn two shoulder positions. That means you have to bring your shoulder blades down and in. You have to learn how to bring your shoulder blades out and keep your shoulder blades down. That's it. And the three comes from you have to learn how to do this with three muscles: your lats, your obliques, and your glutes. The combination of those three things, that means one hip position, two shoulder positions, and three muscles, are going to be way more than enough for 90% of people out there. So I want to take the pressure off of training and I have to do A and I have to do B and I have to do 7 sets of this. This is all not necessary for normal people. Those three things executed properly with equipment that you can hold in between your hands, and it's going to create tension towards the inside. That's all you need. That's all you need for no more back pain, no more shoulder pain, strength gains through the roof, training twice a week. That's it.
And what does that mean from a practical sense? If someone now listens to this and they are like, hey, sounds good. I want to create my own training plan or want to create a training plan for someone else based on this. What are we doing? Like really from a practical standpoint.
All super simple because I love practical applications. So we've created three templates. There's one sexy shoulder template, there's one holy hip heel template, and there's one tremendous trunk treat template. That's a bit of a time breaker. Um, so if you do those three templates, you have everything covered that I've just mentioned. All right. So how does it look in practice? I want you to do one template a week, which is going to take you probably an hour. So you can split it up like 30 minutes on Monday, 30 minutes on Friday. You do the hip template. The week after, you split up the shoulder template. You're going to do 30 minutes of the shoulder template on Monday and 30 minutes of the shoulder template on Friday. Same with the tremendous trunk treat. You do 30 minutes on Monday and 30 minutes on Friday. That's 3 full solid weeks of training. And then you're just going to repeat it 14 times and the year is over. And that's all you need to do, right? You don't have to get any fancier than this. You don't need any fancy progressions. You don't need any like additional exercise. You don't even need new exercises. I would love to bring them in there if you're whatever. If you've done this for 5 years and you want to do something else and something different, okay, that's totally fine. But that's all you need as a physical education and preparation for your normal day life.
What would you tell a coach though who feels like with breaking training down to such basic principles that their own job gets kind of unnecessary, or like when they feel like they should do more, they should provide more for their members or their the people they are coaching. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, so the only things that you should, yeah, absolutely. What you have to just redirect your energy because now a lot of energy in the coaching world is going towards nerding out on Excel files and rep schemes and sets and whatnot, and how to make like very small details look even fancier. Like save that energy, use that energy, and work with the human in front of you. Like read the book, coach people through it, and save words for interacting with human beings. Like ask them how the day was. Like have a normal human interaction and not spend all of your energy nerding out on exercises. I do this a lot, but not when I coach people. I want to understand the principles, break it down, and I want to present it as easy and doable as possible. I've heard rumors about people saying, well, I have a hard time writing 100 people a day. But if I set a timer for 30 minutes a day and I can achieve whatever, 27, 28, or 30 people a day, this is actually doable. Um, and this is exactly what we want to do with training. Like so many people are overwhelmed with what to do in the training and they get bombarded once they start training and you have to do this and you have to roll out and do this mobility here and do the protein shakes and do this. And then you have to do the squat cycle and do the shoulder. And, and once you're overwhelmed, you quit. That's just how it works, right? So we have to start as simple as possible. And for those who want to move on further, well, we're gonna provide a second step. And guess what? That's why a second and a third book is going to be necessary. But there has to be a level one base there, which is okay, these are the only things, and I hate to say you have to do, but this is what you have to do. To be a normal human being, be somewhat strong, be capable of living a normal life without weight or you not being able to pick your kids up. This is not about doing barbell deadlift at the gym. This is not about whatever biceps curls. This is not where normal people are. Normal people are train twice a week for 30 minutes, focus on one hip position, two shoulder positions, and three muscles. Do this for a year, and you'll be amazed about the guaranteed progress we can bring you.
Was that transition actually difficult for you, going from like being a beginner coach and having all these ideas of I need to do this and that and the other? And was that transition actually difficult?
Um, I had a fascinating story the other day. It was about what a true expert is, and I want to share it with you. So, what a true expert is, he can filter information what is not necessary for you at that moment. A lot of experts out there make it more complicated. They go further down rabbit hole. They bring another scientific study in, so the person in front of them is totally confused and literally does something else, right? This is the same as you sitting in school, um, not having a good physics teacher, and all of a sudden you start drawing, you start chatting, you start doing everything else but being interested in physics. This is the exact same principle. Once we humans are bored, we do something else because guess what? Motivation comes from deprivation. That means if I'm seeking knowledge and information, if I'm interested in physics, if I'm interested in training, I might listen and actually start learning something. So the coach of the job is to at some point after years and years and thousands of hours is get into that expert situation to being able to filter everything that's not needed for that person in front of you. I use this approach a lot in the book, which is I inverse problems. So let's go back to rotation. How can I guarantee that you're not going to see progress? Well, if you start displacing your knees more as you go on with your reps, so the 20th rep has more bone displacement as the first one, I can guarantee you won't have progress. Okay, so I have to flip it around and be like, okay, how can I guarantee that your 20th rep looks better? Looking better means using the big muscles to actually stabilize the bones and move the bones there, blah, blah, blah. What do I have to do to get there? And this is how reverse engineered stuff that I saw happening in the gym once we started using sandbags. Because I'm still not smart, but I was way less smarter back then. I was like, wait, this thingy here gives me faster progress without using so many words. And it's more fun for people and they see way more progress. Like, what the fuck am I doing here? I just keep doing this, right? But it was hard to step away from that ideology and methodology thinking, like, okay, this is what you have to do, this is where you have to start, and would you borrow the back squats? And no, it's not. Our only obligation is to solve problems for our people, is to guarantee progress and make training fun again. And guess what fun is or motivation is? Once you start seeing progress, I don't have to motivate you. And that's the cool thing about changing behavior in humans. Once they realize, okay, this is good for me, they keep doing.
I actually don't have any questions anymore.
Perfect. All right, let's wrap it up for today. Bring on more questions, request more practical examples as you wish. We try to do a good job of bringing really good world-class training to normal people by making it simpler, unfocusing on stuff, and present you with something that's doable. Twice a week for 30 minutes. We've created templates. That's all you do. Start training, hop in, and I'll see you on the other side of fancy training. Guys, see you next week.